Dish Network knows the importance of having a reliable television provider. That's why Dish puts reliability first with 99% signal reliability anywhere in the country, including rural America. So you can watch your teams, news, and favorite shows without being interrupted, no matter where you live. Get 99% signal reliability with Dish. Call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Visit dish.com or find a retailer near you to sign up today. 99% reliability based on data from set-top boxes.
Thank you for calling 423-GET-FAME. That's 423-GET-FAME. I would tell you to leave a message, but the truth is, I don't really care. I've had this hotline open for months, and not one of you jokers have what it takes to be famous like me. So leave a message if you want, but don't expect a call back. I've got way more important things to do than to waste my time on losers like Mascarita Sagrada and you all. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hey there, folks, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 7 of the Grave Consequences podcast, a part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Of course, a podcast centered around Lucha Underground. My name is Caleb Baldwin. You can follow me on Twitter at IamCalebB. That's I am Caleb and then another B. Follow my friend, co-host, and producer Greg at XMaserati. And check out everything here on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. You know, we have an aggregate feed. You can search for that and find a bunch of other great things here. Of course, as I mentioned, Season 3, Episode 7, the working title of this episode of Lucha Underground was Payback Time. And Greg, it is, let's see here, it's Tuesday, March 8th, and let's get right into it, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. So we see Puma in the back, and he's, just getting ready for his match. And Vampiro said, he's like, hey, you know what? I hope you do well in your match. If you need anything, just ask. And Prince Puma makes it crystal clear. He even says, I'd rather die by Mule's hands than live by yours.
Words to live by.
Yes, exactly. And then Vampiro kind of doubles down. He says, you know what? Not that you asked, but I think that Mule is going to die by your hands. So Vampiro, still trying to ease his way in. We'll see how that works out.
We'll see.
Yes. Slapback play us in the temple, and we cut to Dario Cueto, and next to the Dial of Doom is he. And who should it land on but Killshot?
A swerve for the uninitiated? Is that the right word?
Yes. Yes, for the uninitiated. But yeah, Killshot is going to face Matanza right now for the Lucha Underground Championship. And when I saw this, I thought to myself, man, Shane Strickland and Jeff Cobb, that's going to be amazing.
And I think for the most part it was.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I noticed, by the way, and, Matt Stryker pointed it out, but, Killshot was in a state of certain doom, and he used, of all things, just a little bit of wrist manipulation to escape that.
It was it almost looked like a chicken wing wrist lock at one point, but that would work.
Yeah.
On anybody.
And you know what? Matt Stryker was astute in pointing it out. This was good writing, good attention to detail. After the whole, who was it? Oh, it was Prince Puma and Mil Muertes. After that whole debacle with the Mil Muertes interference in the title match, that Marty Elias was not the official here, even though this was for the world title. They actually assigned Rick Knox this match.
Yeah, the commentary's gotten better. I think Season 3. I know we're only 7 episodes in, but
yeah,
they've had other moments where they've shown or shined, however I'm supposed to say it. But I think for Season 3, they've been real solid. Me and you have talked off the air about how we're leery of future episodes just because we know some of it gets kind of bad. I think it's mostly, I'm starting to think it's mostly in season 4. And I think from the past, most of it was me being butthurt off of how season 2 ended. Because I think season 3 so far has been pretty consistently solid.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely agree. And you know what? They keep, exposing in these matches, and maybe it's just like the human body of Matanza is just being weakened because he gets closer and closer to losing.
Yeah, they do a good job of these are all designed to make him seem like a monster, but I feel like everyone that has a match with him looks better afterwards. Yeah. It's really a shame that if you were a Pentagon fan like me, like it really did sour you to the show because I don't remember enjoying season 3 at all, to be honest with you. Besides, a future match that I remember. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic, but are saying hyperbole, but I just wasn't excited to review season 3 because I thought in my head that season 2 had all the cool stuff, but season 3, it's been pretty good so far. I've enjoyed watching it, even though I haven't been excited to go watch it each time. Like every time we have to record for a podcast, I'm like, man, I don't want to watch Lucha Underground just because we've already watched it, and
yeah.
We're doing this to review it. But every time I sit down, I get sucked into one of the matches, and I'm like, wow, like these are really, really well done matches. This is really good commentary. This is a really good stories, and everything's linking up very well.
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, Killshot, and these challengers are getting closer and closer. Killshot damn near had the thing won. He just missed the foot stomp, the Warrior's Way, the coup de grace, whatever you want to call it. And after that, Wrath of the Gods soon followed, which allowed Matanza to retain the Lucha Underground Championship. That's not all, folks. After this match, after Killshot loses the Cuetos powder, and who should show up but a man wearing a black wife beater, military dog tags, and camo pants. Of course, this was AR Fox on the independent scene, but around here he is going by Dante. And when Dante showed up, Killshot is just shook. And Killshot's like, Dante, I thought you were dead. He tries to hug him, and Dante's not having it, like at all.
Now he does that pretty awesome. It's hard to explain the pump kick he does, but he jumps like straight up and just like flails his arms up and just it doesn't when I describe it, it's not going to sound cool, but I think it's cool. He just pump kicks him right in the face.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Dante tells us in Killshot, you left me for dead. So there is some bad blood there for sure.
And this is following that scene with Joey Ryan, where Joey Ryan was delivering that information that was given to him by someone at the door of the temple.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean with the stories. Like they may seem to like come and go like the waves for a certain character, but they always leave something on the beach for him to come back to later for them. And there's all these little breadcrumbs that can lead to future stories or future events. And that was one we saw a couple weeks ago, I want to say, or a couple shows ago. But this is, I don't want to spoil it, but this leads to like one of my favorite matches of all of Lucha Underground.
Well, we will certainly get there, and I do look forward to it. But after that, we cut to Dario Cueto, and I believe he's in the ring, and he's like, hey, we've gone through the Dial of Doom. We just keep stacking these wins here. Who's left? So let's do this again. Aztec Warfare in 2 weeks. The return of Aztec Warfare. Matanza is actually going to be defending the title, and he's entering the match as the number 1 entrant. So this was like the inspiration for Brock Lesnar at the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, this is pretty stupid, but, Dario feels invincible right now. I mean, he shouldn't, because we've seen Matanza plenty of times barely survive. Was it last week where Puma pretty much had him beat?
Yeah, Puma had him beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
until has interfered. Yeah.
And if I think Puma's going to be in Aztec Warfare, so this seems kind of like stupid.
I think it's just the hubris of Dario Cueto, and we can see whether or not that will come back to bite him. And also, Dario Cueto is talking to the Trios champions, and he's like, you know what? You guys are going to have a match against each other. And the winner of the match gets spot number 20 in Aztec Warfare, and the other two losers are not invited to compete in Aztec Warfare. So high stakes and high drama here.
He doesn't like cohesive units, almost like he doesn't like cohesive families.
Exactly.
Maybe he seems kind of jealous based on his upbringing, so he just wants to tear everyone else down. There's so many layers to Dario that he's probably. I would even argue that he might be one of the best authority figures.
Yeah.
Maybe, obviously behind, McMahon during the Austin storyline, but that's like, the measuring stick for everybody else.
Yeah, and of course behind Vince Russo in WCW, of course. So, man, that triple threat was really good. Go back and check it out. Again, Drago, Aerostar, Phoenix, and of all people to get the win, it's Drago. And you know what? Good for him. After like everything he's been through, just trying to get a title match, good for him. It's well earned.
It's well earned, but I didn't have problems with this match, but I did have, like, I noticed that Phoenix was kind of wrestling kind of like a heel a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, he got out of the ring at first, and it seemed like, maybe I misinterpreted it, but it seemed like kind of like a heel move, like you guys wrestle and I'll come in and, pick you off when you're weaker. I mean, maybe he was trying to show respect, say, hey, like, I know you guys got unfinished business, so why don't you guys go first? It wasn't very clearly, express what that was about. And then the finish was kind of abrupt, I felt. It was a cool move upon watching the replay, but at first it looked like a regular DDT. It was a flash pin that was very flash.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely. But to me, the story here, and by the way, that match was very good.
Yes.
It was just kind of sudden. But after that, we see all things Drago's in the men's room getting ready to leave, of course.
That's when all this shit happens, isn't it? In the restroom.
And he's going to go through the pipe and everything. And Cobra Moon shows up and tells him, hey, you know what? Go win Aztec Warfare for our tribe.
Yep.
And Drago reassures Cobra Moon. He's like, I will never again be a part of your tribe. So there's some heat there between the Cobra Moon dynasty and Drago.
I like how the segment ended with, what's his name?
So random. After Drago left, Vinny Massaro showed up with a slice of pizza in his hand. He says he thought this was the men's room, and Cobra Moon hisses at him.
And he goes back to eating his pizza.
And I think he was farting too.
Yeah, he did it right at the end.
Yeah, that's
highbrow.
Yeah, it's something. After that, we see Johnny Mundo rush into Dario Cueto's office, and he's tired of the games. He's like, I can't fight fate. I got to make my own breaks here. So you know what, Dario? Like, couple seasons ago, I got something from you, but you know what? I'm willing to give this back for a Gift of the Gods title shot. And Dario Cueto sees the remaining $94,000 plus. It was like a really random number, like $94,600 something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either way, huge 94% of the briefcase that Johnny had won from Dario in season 1. And Dario says, hey, good doing business with you. So Dario is now on the take.
Yeah, I mean, you could always say that he was always on the take. Mundo had no money to play with at the table, so.
Yeah. Ooh, pardon me. So up next is our main event of the evening. We had Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma, and this was so weird. Just seeing the roles reversed and seeing the smaller Prince Puma being the aggressor and Mil Muertes working from underneath.
Yeah, I love this Puma this season. I do. I've been liking him since near the end of season 2. He is just badass. Like, there's just so many good spots here. And, unfortunately for Mill, he's kind of downgraded his spot from, season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
Because he was like he was the monster, and that's kind of what Batanza took away from him. And you know what, that's fine. I think Lucha Underground does the best job of having multiple monsters on their roster, but it did, there can only be one major monster, and that's Matanza right now. However you feel about it, that may be also another reason why I didn't like it upon original watching of season 3. Because we love Mill. He's just not the same guy anymore. Maybe they fix it in storyline. I don't remember, but he did get one nasty ass right hand on Puma. That was great.
Yeah, for sure, man. I say it all the time, but like a lot of matches on this show are physical as hell.
Emil has like some of the best punches.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But my man, Prince Puma got the win. And it's like the story that was being told throughout commentary is like redemption had been won. Like you'd have thought Prince Puma just won the main event of WrestleMania. Like this was huge.
Yeah, because this was a perfect match for Puma. He made mistakes, but he won definitively with his finisher. 1, 2, 3, completely clean. Like it's not a squash, but he definitively beat Mill.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those, it's like, and look, I know he's a piece of trash and everything, but it's sort of like the stories that was told throughout a series of matches between retired wrestler David Starr and Walter, where it's like David Starr is just fighting and fighting and fighting throughout several matches and several different promotions trying to beat Walter. And when he finally gets the big one, it's like, that's really cool. Or at least it was at the time.
I'd have to go. I didn't know. I've only seen a few David Starr matches. I've enjoyed most of them. One of them I thought was just too boring and long, and I think that might have been with Orange Cassidy of all people, because it was like an hour-long match, if I remember correctly.
Yikes!
It was a long match. It was just too long of a wait to get good for me. But I would go back and watch that.
Yeah.
There was one quote by Matt Stryker. He's like, "Let's see if there's any hits left in the pipe of Prince Puma." I just couldn't help but thinking, like, I wonder if Matt's talking about a crack pipe or.
That's
But
awful.
That made me laugh.
Yeah. So Prince Puma again celebrating the redemption that he won, and Vampiro of all people has an approving grin as the show ends from the temple. So Vampiro feels like he's getting in the good graces right now. And the show's not over quite yet. Rey Mysterio comes to Chavo Guerrero Sr. and he's like, hey, like, I'm tired of your son. Where do I stand with you after I get him out of here?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
It seemed like an unnecessary. Okay, I don't want to shit on it just because it's Chavo, but they've tried to go to the, legends of luchadors before, and it just falls flat just because we don't know. Like, if you're like a super wrestling nerd, you know everything about, lucha libre and luchador wrestling. Yeah, it might mean something, but they do a bad job. Like, they tell you it's his dad, but if the watcher is not me, you, or anyone else on Social Suplex, or anyone that's a wrestling nerd, it's not going to mean much because they're not helping you to know why it means much.
Exactly. No, you're exactly right. And Yeah, with that, that's actually the episode. We can go right to grading this. And, man, just looking back, the Matanza match and the main event, I got to give this an even B. This was a very good episode.
Yeah, I think this season 3, especially in this match or this show, it's why I think when people rate wrestling matches, they focus they start getting in the mind if it's not a 4.5, it's bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever rating system you use. Like a B is good for me.
Yeah.
Like when I say it's a B, it's like it's a good wrestling show.
Oh, for sure. That's something I might go back and watch. And I don't do that with wrestling anymore.
No, because there's so much. Like when I say like earlier, I was not looking forward to watching Lucha Underground, legit. But then I had a good time. That's a B.
Yeah.
Like A is like when it's like a masterpiece. Like wow, that's like that might be pay-per-view of the year or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that match is going to be like in an award, or award show kind of thing. A B is like, yeah, it might not make an award, but it's good. It's worth your time. You will have a good time if you watch this.
Yeah, you were absolutely right. So are you giving this a B as well?
Yeah, I'm giving it a B. A B is a strong, I think it's good. Good grade.
Yeah. Now with that, folks, that's the end of the episode, and we just want you to know that, man, apparently if you go to battle with Killshot, you may suffer, supposedly, grave consequences.